Hello friends, and welcome back to my kitchen. A very kind viewer recently sent me the three-tiered stand that goes with the Spode Camille tea set that you and I bought together at a flea market not too long ago. We're going to put the stand together, and then to give it a test drive, we're going to do a full afternoon tea. We're going to do 2 tea sandwiches, both of which are new to me. The first is an elevated ham salad tea sandwich. The other is a radish and cucumber open face tea sandwich. And then we're going to do blueberry scones with lemon butter glaze. I don't know about you, but all of these things sound mighty yummy to me. So let's put this stand together. So this stand comes with a small plate that goes on top, or you could substitute this round berry bowl at the top. I'm going to use the plate. Another washer here. And there we have it, a 3-tiered Spode Camille tea stand. I love it. And we can put the stand over here for now. Since the blueberry scones with lemon butter glaze need to bake, we're going to do those first. And I am preheating my oven to 400 degrees Fahrenheit. And I will link all of the recipes I'm following in the description below, so you don't have to write anything down. So I have my mise en place here. I do need 1 1/4 cups of either heavy cream or buttermilk. I'm going to use buttermilk. And I had just enough blueberries from my garden for this recipe. I need 2 1/4 cups of flour. 1/3 cup of sugar, 1 tablespoon of baking soda, baking powder. And we give the dry ingredients a whisk. Then I need to cut in 113 grams or 8 tablespoons of cold diced butter. Now, I'm just using my fingertips to cut the butter into the flour, but you could certainly use a food processor here. I'm going to be using my food processor for the ham salad, so I didn't want to get it messed up. I'm using my thumb and 2 fingers to mash the butter and flour mixture together. It's very easy to do, actually. So I'm looking for a coarse, crumbly mixture here. Next, I need the zest from 1 lemon. And I do love this microplane zester. It removes only the fragrant peel and none of the pith, none of the bitter pith. I probably have flour all over my face and in my hair. I know it's on my apron. That's just part of baking. You wear what you bake. Then we can stir the zest into the flour mixture. And then I need to fold in approximately 1 cup of fresh blueberries. And I'm adding the blueberries now because I want them to become coated with the flour so that they will be held in suspension in these scones, or scones. Then I need to make a well in the center of this mixture. and add 1¼ cups of either buttermilk or heavy cream. And mix. I'm going to mix just until all of the flour is moistened. Let me do a quick cleanup here, and then I can fetch my baking sheets and we can form the scones. And the recipe tells us to use either a large spoon or a large scoop to form 12 scones. I don't know how much these will spread because I've never made them before. Now, I'm not going to bake all of these scones at once, so I have another baking tray over here. And these scones I will form and then freeze. And then we can bake them off some other time. When we are in the mood for blueberry scones with lemon glaze. Well, the recipe writer's scoop was certainly larger than mine because I have, let's see, 12, 13, can maybe obtain 14 scones from this batter. Yes. And these go into the oven until the top's brown. That's going to take 16 to 19 minutes. And while these are baking, I'm going to pop the other scones into the freezer. Oh my goodness. These done? Yes, they are. These do not look like my traditional scones. If you've seen my other afternoon tea videos, I think these look particularly beautiful and exciting and enticing. And I like how some of the blueberry juice has actually run over some of the scones. So I'm going to transfer these to a cooling rack. I'm tempted to eat one of these right now, but I'm going to be good and wait until tea time. Oh, beautiful. Let me clean up a little here, and then we will move on to the next recipe. So I have everything ready for the first sandwich, which is an elevated ham salad sandwich, except I need a rib of celery. So let's head out to the garden. I took 2 ribs of celery because mine are small. They're still young plants. And I will reserve these leaves for another use. And I'm supposed to just roughly chop the celery. I also need to chop up some fresh dill. Now, before I mix together the ham and other ingredients, I need to make the dressing for the ham salad. So I need 2 teaspoons of sweet pickle relish, and I'm just going to mix all of this in a small bowl. 3 tablespoons of stone ground mustard. I'm going to just eyeball this. A ½ teaspoon of either Creole or Cajun seasoning. 1 tablespoon of minced dill fronds. And a ½ cup of mayonnaise. which I'm going to say is this much, maybe a little more. And mix. And then the ham salad is going to come together very quickly because I'm going to make it in my food processor. So the recipe calls for 1.5 pounds of ham. You could use chopped ham. I have some diced ham here. In you go. Each of these packages is 8 ounces, so I'm using 3. Then I need 2 hard-boiled eggs. I boiled mine earlier today. And we need the celery. And I hope that's enough celery. Put the lid on. And then we pulse. And the recipe says to taste this at this point to determine whether we need to add any salt. And we do. The ham has some salt in it, but this particular ham is not particularly salty. I do need to scrape down the bowl. So I'm looking for a finely minced texture as opposed to a puree. I'm not trying to make baby food. I better do one more taste. Delicious. I want to transfer this to a bowl. And this is going to make more ham salad than I actually need for my few cheese sandwiches, but that's all right because I can save the leftover for other sandwiches. Now we can fold in the dressing. I can tell you right now that this ham salad blew me away. The layers of flavor are almost indescribable. I will make this salad again and again. If this mixture seems too dry, I will simply add a little more mayonnaise. I'm going to add a little more mayonnaise. And I'm sure you could customize this recipe by adding, let's say, some chives or a finely diced onion, or whatever you like in ham salad. One more taste. Oh, wow. I love this. I wasn't sure if I would like the Cajun seasoning in here. I love it. I also love the sweet pickle relish in here. Sweet pickle relish is not anything I normally use. This is fantastic. I'm going to refrigerate this ham salad while we put together the ingredients for the open-faced cucumber and radish sandwiches. Now, for these cucumber and radish sandwiches, the first thing I need is whipped butter. And I could not find a good quality whipped butter at my supermarket this morning, so I bought some Kerrygold, it's kind of soft butter that has been sitting out all morning. And then I'm going to just whip it by hand. Now, the recipe says 3/4 cup of whipped butter. I'm going to make roughly that amount. I'm going to start whipping it, and then I'm going to add about a teaspoon or so of heavy cream. butter is now firmly ensconced in my beaters. We'll see if the cream makes a difference. Yes, it does. I want to check the consistency of this. Oh, this is perfect. I need to add how much curry? 2 teaspoons of curry powder. So this is a flavored whipped butter. Give this one final good stir. And then I need to prepare the cucumbers and the radishes. So the recipe says 2 Persian or miniature cucumbers, which I have here. Fortunately, my market carries them. And then I have these cherry bell radishes. And I'm trying to choose radishes that are roughly the same diameter as the cucumbers. I think these will work. And I finally bought another mandolin. This is the OXO or OXO handheld mandolin. It's very easy to adjust. Apparently, I have not used it yet. I just washed it. And we want to make very thin slices of the cucumber. Oh, these are nice and thin. Now, I think this recipe makes enough for 4 open-faced sandwiches that you would then cut into triangles or little rectangles. I'm not going to make that much because there's only 2 of us enjoying afternoon tea today. I'm going to trim up my radishes. I already washed them. Let me assemble my bread, and then we can get cracking on assembling the sandwiches. I'm going to transfer my cucumbers and radishes to their own little plates because I need my cutting board for the bread. Now, I very often use my own homemade pan de mie for tea sandwiches, but I don't have any on hand today. So I'm using good old Pepperidge Farm sandwich bread. I like this bread because it has a fair amount of body. Now the recipe does not say to do this, but I always butter my tea sandwich bread because the butter acts as a sealant so you don't end up with soggy sandwiches. Now, just for fun, I'm going to form these sandwiches into 2-inch diameter rounds. And there will be no waste because I always eat any leftover bread scraps or crusts for a snack, or I turn them into bread pudding. I'm going to use a scoop to put the ham salad on the bread. Lizette and I took 2 huge spoons and helped ourselves to some of this ham salad. We both thought it was just out of this world delicious. Many, many layers of flavors in this salad. Put on the top, press down gently. I have some more dill here, so I think I can decorate the top of each of these sandwiches. And I just need a tiny bit of butter that the little dill sprig can adhere to. since we're not yet ready to enjoy tea time, I'm going to place these sandwiches on a barely damp kitchen towel and cover them and pop them into the refrigerator. And the damp towel will stop the bread from drying out. But first I need to make my other sandwiches before I put this in the refrigerator. I'm going to use whole grain bread for the open face cucumber and radish sandwiches. And how many sandwiches do I want to make? Maybe just 2 that I will then cut into triangles. And we can spread this whole grain bread with the curried whipped butter. And the butter will be the glue that holds the sliced cucumbers and radishes in place. Now, I looked at the pictures that accompanied this recipe, and what she did was overlap the radish and cucumber like this. Now, I need my beloved Japanese bread knife for this next step. I'm going to slice off the crust. And then I'm going to cut this. How do I want to do this? Do triangles. And we can add the radish cucumber sandwiches to our damp kitchen towel. To the refrigerator. I almost forgot. We need to make the lemon butter glaze for the scones. And supposed to use a ½ teaspoon of melted butter. I'm going to put my butter right in here. I'm going to melt it. This will take probably 3 seconds in the microwave. Okay, that took 2 seconds. Then we need lemon juice. How much? 1/4 cup of freshly squeezed lemon juice. I'm going to make less than that because I didn't bake all 12 of the scones. And I don't know if I want to glaze all of these scones anyway. Then we need confectioner sugar. She says 1 cup. I'm going to start with half. And just whisk. And our glaze is done. I'm going to drizzle this over maybe 4 of the scones. Well, they do look pretty with the glaze. But we're doing the sandwiches, which are savory, the scones, which are somewhere between sweet and savory, unless you've glazed them. And then I have a special little sweet treat to put on the top tier of the 3-tiered stand. And I think by glazing the scones, plus having that extra dessert, might be a bit much. Still too early for tea time, so let's run up to the garden, find some flowers, and make a little arrangement for the tea table. So I'm going to try to do an arrangement with boxwood, larkspur, and lilies. Now, Lizette just ran up to the garden to fetch some zinnias, so I think we can add those to this arrangement. Oh, yes. A little pop of color. And she also grabbed some of my snapdragons. These are the snapdragons that you and I grew together from seed. I'm loving this. I mean, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm loving the results. Well, let's see what this looks like on the tea table, which today will be a side table on my front porch. I thought that this three-tiered stand was the Spode Camilla pattern, which is what you and I found while we were thrifting, but it is actually Copeland Spode's Tower from England. And I love it, and it matches closely enough to the Camilla pattern. And now, tea. I think for this afternoon spread, I want Darjeeling tea, which I buy from Tierra Farm. Have a filter here. And this is actually the Camilla coffee pot, but it works just as well as a teapot. So the first tier is for the sandwiches. Scones on the second tier. Normally I serve scones with either clotted cream or creme fraiche or whipped cream and jam or lemon curd, but I did take a little bite of one of these scones and they are so moist and delicious, they don't need any accompaniment whatsoever. So we're going to have 2 glazed scones and 2 unglazed. And for the sweet treat on the top tier, I have these frozen sweet bites that you and I bought together during my first visit to Trader Joe's. And as you can see, someone has already gotten into these little bites. So these are little cakes. So we have chocolate and coffee, chocolate and caramel, and raspberry and almond. I think this is one of the most attractive looking tea spreads I've ever made. Let's head out to the porch. I hope you can find time during your day, or maybe during a weekend, or during a holiday, when you can enjoy afternoon tea. I think it's just one of life's little pleasures. Let's do a sandwich. Which sandwich do you want to try, Lizette?
I'll try the same sandwich.
Okay.
Should I go for it?
Sure. I should mention that neither Lizette nor I wanted to add milk to our tea because this Darjeeling tea, I personally find is so flavorful. I just don't like to dilute it with milk. Bon appetit.
Bon appetit.
So many different flavors in here. So we have the smoky ham, we have the sweet pickle relish. What else was in here?
The eggs,
oh, right.
Celery.
Hard-boiled egg, celery from the garden,
Is it Cajun seasoning?
Yes, Cajun seasoning, just a tiny amount, and it works beautifully with the ham. And the mayonnaise. I think this will be my ham salad recipe from now on. Shall we try the cucumber radish next?
Yes.
Okay. Now, I did make these a little too large. I should have cut them smaller, but too late now. I love this combination. Is it better than you expected?
Yes.
You're wondering, radishes and cucumber and curried butter? Are you serious? Yes.
Yeah.
The flavors really work well together.
I love the crunch of the radish and cucumber.
And the cucumber. So those little Persian cucumbers have a great crunch, as do the peppery radishes. The cucumbers are not bitter, and I love them with the curry butter on this whole wheat bread. The cucumber and radish sandwiches, I should add, are also very attractive for afternoon tea. Now, the moment we have been waiting for, the blueberry scones. I'm going to have one with the lemon butter glaze. What about you? Do you want yours glazed or not glazed?
Not glazed.
Okay. And this one is glazed. Oh. Are there even any words for this? It's moist. It's not too sweet. Well, it's sweet because of the glaze. Did you notice the texture, Lizette? It's very fluffy.
It's very pillowy.
It's pillowy. It's not like my usual scones.
No.
And I love the juice from the blueberries.
Me too. The blueberries burst in your mouth when you...
They do. The blueberries burst in your mouth, Lizette said. So my advice, if you serve these blueberry scones for afternoon tea, you really do not need to serve them alongside clotted cream or lemon curd or any jam. They are delightful all on their own. And then we have to try the Trader Joe's cakes. I'm pretending that I've not tried one before. Which one do you want?
I'm gonna go for this one.
Hey, I wanted that. No. There are two there. I think I will do, this is the raspberry. Do you remember what this was called? Raspberry something? I think raspberry almond cake. What did you think of the chocolate?
Oh, it's so good.
You love it?
Yeah, I love it. Oh my gosh.
This is really, the raspberry almond cake is super delicious. It has whipped cream or something akin to whipped cream in the center. It's fantastic. And you like the chocolate?
Yeah, I'm a chocolate fanatic. This is like, we just went to a pastry shop and bought...
Fresh, yeah. So, and here again, since we already have these sweet treats from Trader Joe's, it's a good thing I didn't add any jam or clotted cream to the scones. Well, thank you so much for spending time with us today as we put together this very, very simple but mighty delicious afternoon tea. I do a lot of cooking, gardening, food preservation, and home decoration and lifestyle videos on this channel. So if any of those topics are of interest to you, I hope you will like and subscribe. And I will have another video for you on Friday. And until then, please treat yourself well. I can't wait to see you again. Bye for now, friends. Should we do another sandwich? This is so good.